right, good evening. Welcome to the 6 o'clock and 30 seconds set at the Liberty Theater. Thank you all for coming. So my name is Gordy Euler. This is Jonathan Elaine, my co-host. And please find a seat. We're going to get started. Try to keep this thing pretty much on time.
All of this is streaming on KMUN. It's broadcast on Coastal Radio and streaming on KMUN.org. So if your friends aren't here, you can clue them in that they can tune in and listen to all this good stuff that's going on.
So our first reader is Alec McMurren. He's from Petersburg, Alaska. He's going to tell you a little bit more about himself, but he was once upon a time a shrimp fisherman, he says. He says, mild, hopeful, friendly music with images of fishing, past and present. So please give a warm Fisher Poets welcome to Alec McMurren.
Well, my name is Alec McMurren, that's for sure. Thanks for the great introduction. And my songs are I just write songs about fish. I used to be a shrimp fisherman out of Petersburg, and it's just still having a great effect on me, so I'm writing songs about it. And some of these songs have a little bit of a message, but most of them are just for fun. Most things worthwhile are a little bit fun. There is this first song, I'll mention, Global Ocean Health website. The song has kind of a message, and it definitely has a message. There's a lot of messages, I guess, so. Just outside of San Francisco, right down at the fresh fish store, I remember crabs a-cooking in a big old pot outside the door. Fisher folks have great big families, they all need some food to eat. Got to keep those motors turning, got some ends that need to meet. Takes a lot of diesel burning to catch those crabs and bring them in. Boats burn oil by the bucket, we don't run fish boats with the wind. Just when I began to read, learned about those ancient seas, countless tiny organisms got pressed into Texas tea. Oil, that is. Black gold. Bubbling crude. Oil folks, they've got great big families, they all want some fish to eat. Need a way to make a living, got some ends that need to meet. Just when I was a little older, learned a lot in science class. Calculation, observation, experiment, and gathering facts. Sometimes we were very certain, sometimes we found uncertainties. Gathered one and one together, never found it to be three. Scientists have great big families, they all want some fish to eat. Got to keep those Bunsen's burning, got some ends that need to meet. Look at all those carbon footprints across the floor and up the wall. Must have been a real big party, boy, I must have had a ball. Now we're all a little sober, worried mind and aching heart. Better try to clean it up, each of us can do our part. All this singing makes me hungry, I think I'll get some fish to eat. Takes a thriving, healthy ocean for fisher folks to make ends meet. Okay, so this song's about old Petersburg days, I guess, when maybe the floats didn't get shoveled every day. The snow didn't get shoveled off the floats every day, and people kind of had to make do. Hard snow comes sideways, the dock's not been shoveled, it's treacherous down on the floe. We'll skiff from the warehouse, warm up the galley, maybe we'll shovel the boat. That old cotton gear, it's a little bit stiff, salt water freezing on deck. You could toss out the bag, throw over the anchor, but that skate of gear's not gonna set. There lies the Happy, that boat's always lucky, a big station, gurney and sail. The boys love her dear, they'll keep her all sound till they can't climb the old wooden rail. The caulking and seams, oh come and tar, pushed out from the cold winter night. Creaking and groaning, she rocks in her stall. Come spring, they'll put everything right. Fish are all starving, the glass is way down, the weather's come in from the sea. But they haven't forgot how to tie a good knot, or how good the fishing can be. I think they've set out, let loose the lines, this trip they'll forever live. Setting and baiting some old cotton gear, hauling it over the shiv. Now, this here song is the song about the Southeast Alaska Shrimp Beam Trawl Association. And it lives on. It's not as powerful as it used to be. But here we go. There's lots of shrimp in Sumner Strait. Texture's good, the taste is great, and everyone's exact and perfect size. The boats, they come from miles around just to set their beam trawls down and hold forth on the radio, sounding wise. Wesley, Kelton, Shrimper, just to name a few. Ivor P. Nor Provider and the tugboat Jerry too. Rosie M. and the Kodiak until the engine blew. Mandy J., a Bernie Say, and the Charles W. Racing for that low tide set overboard with all the net. Watch it now, don't get it in the wheel. Turn her sharp and let her go. Grab the brake, release it slow. Don't you like the way that old wench feels? Towing from the rigging top, it's enough to make your stout heart stop. No mercy from the current and the tide. Trawl comes up, better shorten up the wire. Bottom soft, just muck and mire. Now just sit right back, enjoy the ride. Wesley, Kelton, Shrimper, just to name a few. Ivor P. Nor provider and the tugboat Jerry too. Rosie M. and the Kodiak until the engine blew. Mandy J., a Bernie Say, and the Charles W. Current coming round the bend, this here drag's about to end. Time to bring her up and brail her out. Trawl comes up along the side, I filled her up, I'm satisfied. Shrimping rules, it makes me wanna shout. Wesley, Kelton, Shrimper, just to name a few. Ivor P. Nor provider and the tugboat Jerry too. Rosie M. and the Kodiak until the engine blew. Mandy J. and the Bernie Say and the Charles W. This song is my favorite song, and it was written by Dave Berg, who is from around this area. And he's not alive anymore, but it's called A Fisherman's Life. The fisherman's life, it's a wearisome life. They toil from darkness till dawn, with a broken down boat and an old worn out skiff, their life and the future in the pond. Rain it does fall and the wind it does blow, and the waves they get higher and higher, with a crashing of the lines and the rolling of the boat. It's only the lucky who retire. But the next day you roll a jellyfish purse, pinnacles you pray stay away. Where are the fish when they're not in your net? They waggle their tails and swim away. Unless you have charts and have been there before, the islands they all look the same. There's rocks and there's shoals and there's pinnacles too. Sometimes rocks and there's shoals and there's pinnacles too. At night in the rain, in a stiff southeast squall, the channel looks much like a sound. Rocks and there's shoals and there's pinnacles too. Sometimes the best run aground. But the next day you roll a jellyfish purse, pinnacles you pray stay away. Where are the fish when they're not in your net? They waggle their tails and swim away. Go north and get rich, that's what I've heard it said. You can walk across the fish to the shore. From Alaska southeast up to Kodiak Bay, fishing's a glittering lure. And when those fish they run in your net, and you round haul 5,000 for shore, you laugh and you cry as the brailer comes down, and you know that you'll be home for sure. But the next day you roll a jellyfish purse, pinnacles you pray stay away. Where are the fish when they're not in your net? They waggle their tails and swim away. Well, okay, thanks a lot. Got a little lost in my song there a couple of times, but thanks very much.